Chapter 25. What's Left Behind. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41, verse 10. The sirens finally came, two police cruisers pulling up as the midday sun bled across the dirt. Doors slammed like gunshots. Radios murmured static and clipped commands. The world kept turning, but Ruthie couldn't. She stayed hunched on the porch with her arms locked around her ribs, as if her body might fall apart without the pressure. Her eyes were fixed on the door, the way it still hung open. The damage. The message. That house that once felt safe wasn't anymore. It had been touched. Tainted. The officers worked quickly with that smooth, rehearsed rhythm that only made her feel more exposed. They were kind, but this wasn't about kindness. It was protocol. One documented the damage, flash after flash of a camera catching the horror in sterile detail. Another knelt, dusting for prints near the jagged edge of the broken window, gloved hands moving through the wreckage like a silent judge. To them, this was just another case. To Ruthie, it was a breach, a threat and a line crossed. Naomi stood close, not speaking, but her presence was the only thing keeping Ruthie from slipping. She wasn't crying anymore. The tears had been replaced by something colder, something sharper. It felt like her skin didn't fit right, like she was stretched too thin, nerves exposed, every sound scraping raw. Even the breeze felt cruel. James kept pacing. He needed something to fix, but there wasn't a broken gate or loose hinge that could take away the anger he felt. Naomi watched Ruthie in silence, her chest tightening with each minute that passed. There was something fragile in Ruthie's stillness, like a thread pulled too tight, about to snap. Or maybe that was Naomi's own reflection staring back at her. Maybe it was her own ache she saw mirrored in Ruthie's trembling hands and hollow stare. She reached out, her hand trembling despite herself, and placed it gently on Ruthie's shoulder. The contact was tentative, almost reverent.
Breathe, Ruthie.
I am.
She murmured, though it wasn't true. Every breath was borrowed, shallow, fragile. From the back of the house, a voice called out,
Scratches on the screen door. We'll lift them. Possible prints.
James was already moving.
Do you have enough to find him?
His voice was tight, controlled. The lead officer gave a curt nod.
We'll try.
The police stayed another hour. They logged evidence, took statements. With each question from the police, Ruthie spoke as if reading from a script, monotone, detached, as though describing someone else's nightmare. They couldn't give her safety back, but they gave her something else. Documentation. Proof that it wasn't all in her head, that someone had crossed a line. By the time they left, the sky had shifted to burnt orange, shadows long and stretched like old wounds. James offered the spare room, the couch, anywhere she wanted. She couldn't choose. She just nodded. Naomi kissed her cheek goodbye, her voice soft but her eyes fierce. Inside, she felt scraped thin, pulled in too many directions, with nothing left to give. Her own needs were pressing against her ribs, but there was no space to speak them. Not today. Today, Ruthie needed her. That night was quiet, but it wasn't peaceful. The silence wasn't soft or soothing. It was swollen, pressurized. Every corner of the house pulsed with the ghost of what had happened. Shadows stretched longer than they should have. The wind outside didn't howl, but it watched. Bear lay between them on the couch, his big head resting across James's boot like a sentinel. His ears flicked at every creak of timber, every gust that rattled the window panes. He didn't sleep. Neither did they. The television played on mute, a flickering collage of forgotten stories. The light danced across their faces, pale skin, tight shoulders, eyes too full to blink. James sat rigid, elbows on knees, hands steepled like a prayer he couldn't finish. He'd done what he could, swept the glass into a bin, collected the papers, shut the broken door with nails and effort. But now, with nothing left to fix, he stared at the floor like it might give him an answer he hadn't asked for. Ruthie sat beside him, not touching. Her hands gripped the edge of the couch cushion, white-knuckled. Her entire body was wired and brittle like one wrong move would send her shattering. She couldn't stop thinking about Dylan. About the moment she realized that if she had stayed, he would have killed her. Not might. Would. And then, James. That day at the station, the moment that rerouted her life like a gust of wind catching a falling leaf. He had saved her. But how? And why? And beneath it all, behind the ache and fear, something older stirred, something she hadn't dared voice until now. Eventually, she turned toward him, voice thin as spider silk.
Can I ask you something?
He didn't move at first, then a slow nod, his eyes still fixed on the floor.
Why me?
She asked, barely audible.
That day, at the train station. Why did you help me and not anyone else?
James turned, and for a moment his eyes met hers, but they didn't settle. They drifted past her into the shadows of memory. He swallowed hard.
To be honest,
His voice cracked dry in his throat.
I didn't think. I just saw you, and you looked
He shook his head, jaw twitching.
like someone being dragged to the edge, someone who wasn't going to make it through the day, and I knew that look too well.
He rubbed his palms together, slow, rough, like trying to scrub something invisible off his skin.
I just thought maybe this time I could step in before it was too late. Maybe I could do something right. For once.
Ruthie's chest tightened. A sob pressed behind her ribs, but she held it in. Her voice wavered.
James, what really happened to Ellie?
The name landed between them like a dropped glass. James went completely still. Ruthie softened her voice gently.
Did the police ever tell you?
He let out a slow, shaky exhale.
Yeah, they did.
His throat worked around the next words.
I even read the autopsy report. Took me 6 tries to get through it, but I made myself read it.
Ruthie didn't flinch. She didn't fill the silence. She let him decide. And after a moment, he nodded, like a man who knew the telling would break something, but told it anyway.
According to the report, it was bad. Really bad. He didn't just hit her once, it was over and over. Head, face, chest. The injuries were significant.
He swallowed hard, voice catching.
It wasn't quick either. She didn't go right away.
A pause.
She suffered for hours.
Ruthie covered her mouth with her hand. James stared straight ahead. His voice turned thin, hollow.
He left her there. Didn't call anyone. Didn't even try to help. Just walked away and let her die.
His hands trembled. He gripped his knees like he needed something to anchor him.
She fought back.
His voice caught on the last word.
They found bruises, scratch marks, skin under her fingernails.
A beat of silence.
She tried to fight. She didn't go quietly.
Ruthie's tears came silently, slipping down her cheeks like they belonged to someone else. James wiped at his face with the heel of his hand.
When I saw you that day, standing there like the ground had opened beneath your feet and no one even noticed, it felt like watching it all over again. And I thought, not again. Not on my watch, not her.
Ruthie reached for his hand in the dark. Her fingers found his, cold, calloused, trembling. The room was quiet again, but no longer empty,
What happened to him?
she asked. James blinked slowly like he had to translate the question.
Ellie's husband?
She clarified. He exhaled.
Hung himself 3 weeks after the sentencing, in his cell.
The TV flickered, casting restless shadows across the floor, like ghosts circling but never settling. For a long time, neither of them moved. Ruthie's thumb gently traced over the ridge of James's knuckles. It wasn't much, but it was something, a soft place in the wreckage. They didn't speak again that night, not because there was nothing left to say, but because there was too much. And in that space, held between flickering light and the weight of their shared grief, they stayed, quiet, broken, and healing. Together.
Thank you for listening to this chapter of Healing on the Land. If this story has touched your heart, I'd love for you to come join me for the next chapter. You can find it here on this channel. If you'd like to support more Christian storytelling, you can purchase the full book or make a donation using the link in the description. Your support, no matter the size, helps us to continue writing stories of faith, healing, and hope. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. May God bless you, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.